It is November 11th. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you to all the people who have served and are currently serving. Thank you so much. It means more than for, helping protect this country and the people that are living here in the United States. Episode 9 of The Take is coming your way next. Before you do anything, please like and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at The Take Sportscast and at The Take Sports Pod. A lot of more Mets talk. Steve Cohen gave a great presser yesterday. Marcus Stroman accepted the qualifying offer. What is supposed to be a slow winter is starting to speed up pretty quickly, and it's not even Thanksgiving. Some AFC East football, Jets, Patriots. Jets found every way to lose that game. They did. Buffalo and Miami, they come away with two huge wins. It's coming up next on The Take. Met fans, this one's for you, including myself and a lot of the orange and blue fans out there. Today is, I said a few weeks ago that you woke up it being one of the best days of your life. Today is one of the best days of your life. You watched the presser yesterday. Steve Cohen mentioned the fans and regarded the fans more than the Wilpons did in their entire time as owners of the New York Mets. There was a raw, authentic, just personality with Steve Cohen. And he said you couldn't have had a better first press conference as the owner of the Mets. So many good quotes. Steve Cohen said, in 3 to 5 years, if I don't have a championship, I'll feel disappointed. And Met fans can hold my feet to the fire. 3 to 5 years. And he was like, I want it sooner. That just gets you riled up. It gets you excited. This is a person that wants to win. He wants this organization to succeed. He wants the fans to continue to be passionate and come out to the ballpark and root for this team. Another quote, he said, I'm a low-key guy. He's a low-key guy. He's a low-key guy. He spends money. He is a collector. You guys all know this. He's dropping $151 million on these Slender Man type cool art sculptures. And he's going to put the correct guys in place. And I think this is the best part. They asked, hey, Steve, were you a big baseball guy? He was like, I played Little League. I know baseball. But that's it. I'm gonna hire the correct guys to get the job done. And obviously one of the first moves that we knew about, and even he addressed the media and went on. He actually went on Carton and Roberts on The Fan, and that was the president of the Mets, the new president of the Mets, Sandy Alderson, former GM. He's back in the fold with the organization, and he said it straight up. He goes, one of the big reasons why I came back was because of Steve Cohen. And Sandy built the team that got the Mets to the 2015 World Series, and they came up short. It's gonna and Sandy's gonna hire his own guy. He's gonna hire GM. He's gonna hire baseball ops. He's not gonna he's gonna have a say, but he's not gonna be the one going around really and trying to build this team. He's another guy hiring the correct guys to build a sustainable, successful franchise for the next decade. And it just goes to show you that the Mets, in their entirety over the past, 15 years, had zero competence, zero structure. They didn't know what the hell they were doing. And you wake up today refreshed and proud to see how this team and this front office is going to unfold. And it got me excited. It got a lot of people excited about who they're going to sign now. Who's the money going to go to? How is this winter going to unfold? And I said it yesterday. I went live on Instagram yesterday. I was like, it's going to be slow, but we got to be patient, because the first thing the Mets got to do is bring in a GM, bring in a handful of different front office guys. That's the first thing. And as soon as that happens, that's when I think they can spend the money. But even without that, they were able to acquire a pitcher that you might not have thought was going to be back, but he decided, I saw this press conference yesterday and I was with it. Marcus Stroman accepted the qualifying offer, $18.9 million for the 2021 season. You saw him on Twitter this morning. Him and Steve Cohen interacted. Stroman even said, I saw your presser. I'm so excited. You have so much passion. I'm so excited to be back in the orange and blue and come back here. and pitch for you guys. So without even really, opening the wallet, Stroman comes in. He's back for at least a year, and I feel very good about that. I think Stroman was one of the guys that I think they had to bring back, and Sandy even said Bauer is, a personality that New York should get, would love to get. So we know that Bauer's on the radar, and if they were to add Bauer, this rotation's legit with DeGrom and Bauer, Stroman. If Lugo stays in the rotation, you have Lugo. You think Syndergaard's going to come back healthy at some point next year, and then the kid David Peterson, who pitched really well last season. But now, so I think the biggest reason why, and I thought he was going to decline the offer. I thought at 29, going on 30, he was going to look for a long-term deal. And even this one-term deal doesn't really put Stroman, just latches up from 1 year, and he's going to prove to other teams if he can pitch at a high level and maybe get that contract next year. He didn't pitch this past season. He opted out. There was really no leverage with the market on how he would get paid. I think if he stayed in free agency, he was probably going to get a lucrative deal that he probably wouldn't have signed until later in the winter, probably would have held out for some more money. And to be honest, he probably wasn't going to get it. We've seen this so many times. Owners not wanting to pay players their asking prices because they think they're not worth it. So I think for Stroman, especially how this offseason might turn out, there might be a lot of cheap deals, especially with this whole season with COVID and owners already putting, cutting people and not wanting to pay the upcoming salaries just to cut pay. He knew, especially being latched on with the draft pick, might have been harder to sign Stroman. But he knew where the money was. Now he's guaranteed 18.9. I think it was a very smart decision by him. It made sense. So yeah, I'm excited for that. That's one move that's out of the way. It's another high-end starting pitcher that you have on this ball club. A guy that you thought you were going to have last year when the Mets, absolutely underperformed, and it was mainly because of their starting pitching. So I'm very happy for the Stro Show to be back in the orange and blue. Finally, he can rock that number 0 on the back of his jersey. I was pretty excited to see that. In other MLB news, I'm a Hall of Famer. I'm a baseball guy. I'm a Hall of Famer. Tony LaRussa, who last managed in 2011 and started working, for baseball as, this more front office for the league, was able to turn himself into, at 76, he's almost 80, turned himself into a laughable joke in the last 2-3 weeks, in the last 2 weeks. WhiteSox hire him as manager. Jerry Reinsdorf, I said this last week, it was Reinsdorf, is the guy that he wanted. How are you going to try and switch over to a younger culture with guys like Tim Anderson, Luis Robert, and all these young guys on your team, and you bring in an old school 76-year-old manager who hasn't managed since 2011, there's problems. There's a lot of problems to connect with these players, and just the fact that he's been connected with, racist comments. And going back to Stroman, just because Stroman is so active on Twitter, replying to tweets, Stroman said no dollar amount could have got him to sign with the Chicago White Sox because of Tony LaRussa being their manager. Well, now that just shows you how attractive are the White Sox as an organization, as a team now. You showed this past season you made the playoffs. This is a team that is going to compete for the next 10 years with this young core. But if you don't agree with the man at the helm, and it's going to be LaRussa, you're not going to do anything. Especially with the black baseball players at free agency. Stroman said, there's no money. Obviously, he's a Met, so it doesn't even matter now. Go back to LaRussa. The White Sox must be just incompetent because they were aware. The man got a DUI the day before the White Sox hired him at manager. A day before. So the White Sox were aware of this, decided to say, fuck it, doesn't matter, we're going to hire him anyway. And the transcripts came out, flashing the Cardinal ring. I'm a baseball guy. I'm a Hall of Famer guy. Dude, hit the road, Jack, you old shit. It's laughable at this point because the White Sox could have got anyone they wanted. I think the hirings at manager, with Cora and Hinch both being off of suspension, I think for the Red Sox it was the right thing to do to bring Cora back. I think that was their plan really all along, to be honest. Saw Cora tweeting like even during the World Series, like something's coming. Like I think the Red Sox knew that they were going to bring back Cora no matter what. They had Renicky for the year. They ended up firing Renicky. Boom, you bring back Cora. Especially because, with the whole 2018 thing with the Red Sox, that wasn't even, that was, thrown out the window. It was all with the Astros. So the fact that, nothing happened when he managed the Red Sox to a championship, you could sleep a little bit better. And for all the fans out there, cheater, just piss off for now. And with Hinch, I think it was perfect. Gardenhire retired for the Tigers. Hinch can come in here, start fresh, help this rebuild for Detroit, and I think he's a perfect manager to come in here. And for the White Sox, why? They didn't give a look at Hinch or anyone. You mutually parting ways with Rick Renteria. I didn't agree. I mean, I agree. Not that I disagreed or agree with, but okay, it made sense. Rick is, he's an older guy. Maybe you wanted someone younger. But to bring in a man that's like 10 years older than Rick, for me, makes no sense. I'm going to dive into this a lot more with my man, Eric Gassion. That's a new On the Hot Seat. Will be out today as well. So I'll dive into that even further. The baseball world is filled with New York Mets news. And it's great. It's great to see in the public light, in a positive light. Again, as a Met fan, you couldn't be more ecstatic. NFL talk, AFC East is coming up next. The Jets continue to lose. Only the Jets could have lost on Monday night. 0-9. Tank for Trevor. Week 9 of the NFL is behind us. 6-8 with my first minute against the spread. That will be coming back a little bit later. I mean, a lot of tough games this week. And to go into it, a lot of AFC East, upsets. Good ones, in fact. I mean, I didn't think 3.5 was a lot. But for the Bills at home to absolutely upend from behind, just screw the Seahawks like that and their defense, it was a very impressive win for Buffalo. Seattle Seahawks defense, absolutely atrocious. Russ kept them in. He threw a terrible pick in the red zone. That effed him, and it really fucked our bet for that first half. For one of Nick's best bets of last week. Packers -5.5. That was good. Seahawks -3.5. That was an L. Falcons -3.5. That was a good one. They got their first win at home. Bears +5.5. That was a heartbreaker. They lost by 7 to Tennessee. Ravens -2.5. I told you the line was too small. They won by 14, 24-10. Their team total hit for us as well. It was a good bounce back game for Baltimore, especially how they lost to the Steelers last week. Chiefs -11. There's too many points. Panthers covered that one. Chiefs only won by 2. Vikings -4. Another first win at home. They were able to cover. My best one, I should probably said the best game that I liked was the Giants +3. They were outright winners. Texans, they were covering for the entire game at -7 and decided just to not. So that was a loss. Chargers -1.5. That another heartbreak for the Chargers. I don't know. It's almost that, they're a way more talented like New York Jets team. They are finding new ways to lose every week, and the only reason why, it could have been a win. They had to win as time expired, but then it turned out under review that the touchdown was not complete, and the Raiders walked away with a 6-point victory. Steelers -13.5. That was just a ton of points. I laid the points all on the Steelers. That was a lot to ask from them. They snuck out with the win. Cowboys look better with Gilbert. DiNucci, Ben DiNucci. No, that guy's absolutely done. Gilbert's going to be their starter going forward. Cowboys defense actually played pretty freaking well. Cardinals -4.5. Dolphins won outright as an underdog. That was a great game. Saints +5.5. This was another one I liked. +5.5. They were outright winners. They were outright absolute. They crushed them. Worst I've ever seen Tom Brady. I mean, they waltzed in and absolutely decapitated the Buccaneers. Thought 5.5 was too much. I thought it was going to be a tight game. No. Drew Brees absolutely just, curb stomp Brady and the defense of the Bucs. They waltz away with a 38-3 victory. Largest margin this year. As bad as the Jets have been, they haven't lost by that many. Which tells you something. And Patriots -7. That was a loss right there. Jets kept it close. Jets should have won that game, to be honest. But the Jets just wanted to lose more. And it's a really valiant effort by them to lose. Nick Folk, former Jet, he hits the game-winning field goal for the Patriots to get the 30-27 win. Again, Patriots, their team total hits. We were 2-1 this week. Pats team total, Ravens team total, those two hit. The Seahawks team total in the first half missed by, I want to say, 4 points. I think they 10'd the first half, so that was a tough one. Especially, like I said, Russ with that red zone interception. I guess we'll go back to the AFC East. So we saw 2 really good wins by Buffalo, who's now 7-2. And then we saw another great win by Tua and the Dolphins, and now they're 5-3. This division is still up for grabs. Miami has a very good shot at closing the gap on Buffalo. And not saying that Miami has a lot of things to do to remain a competitive over 500 team. But I said it a few weeks ago, I said last week, since Brian Flores has taken over after that, obviously that really rough start in the beginning, starting like 0-5 or 0-6. This team wants to play for him. This team is going to be good. It goes to show you, as much as you might have been like, Fitz was playing well, Tua is just head over heels better than Fitzpatrick, and this was the right move. And they said it. He's beaten 2 good NFC West teams, beat the Rams and the Cardinals. Now, these are impressive victories, and Miami's defense played very well. So these are now, I think Miami is a very interesting team to look at now, especially with the expanded playoffs, and they have a real shot to make it to the playoffs. Now the Jets, they did their job. 0-9. No business. I mean, I barely watched the game. Brashad Perryman, 2 touchdowns though. Crowder with the touchdown. Flacco looked pretty good, but as a fan, do I need to watch Joe Flacco? I mean, he's still got the arm, but I'm here. Am I really here to watch Joe Flacco hand off a ball to Frank Gore at this point? No. 0-8, prime time, didn't want to see it. Didn't give a crap about it. I thought Cam was going to play a better game. He did. He had a rushing touchdown. That was the first score. They almost screwed this up. And it would have been so Bill Belichick just to fuck the Jets one more time and lose to the Jets on Monday night to compete for a spot. Because at that point, the Pats would have been 2-6, and Jets would have been 1-8, and now the Patriots really would have been fighting for a top 5 pick. Because I'm feeling, especially with how Cam had played in the beginning, how he's played in the middle of the season, and then that performance, I thought there was a chance that maybe Bill would want to lose a little bit and see if he can get Lawrence or Fields, and that's his franchise quarterback for the foreseeable future. I think there's a lot of things to wonder with the Patriots. Do they go on a little run? Does Cam start playing like he did the past few weeks? I have a theory. I have a feeling that Bill wants to bring back Jimmy GQ back into this organization. Because I'm telling you, there's going to be people that want him, and I think the Niners are kind of ready to get rid of him. Remember, I mean, they lost the Super Bowl, but remember the NFC Championship game? The man threw 9 pass attempts and won. Raheem Mostert ran 30 times for like 240. He, not only the injuries, but Shanahan has taken Jimmy out of the game on multiple occasions for not playing well. And they bring in Mullins or Beathard to get the air game going. I don't think they trust him enough in the passing game. So go back to the Jets at 0-9. Tank for Trevor. It goes to show you that Trevor is, without a doubt, he won't be passed. He's the number 1 pick. And a lot of people thinking there's a chance Justin Fields bumps him for the number 1. I'm telling you, it's between, and if it continues, it'll be Jets number 1, Jaguars number 2. The Jets going to get Trevor, and the Jags going to get Justin Fields. Because for them, obviously, Minshew's hurt now. Minshew was never the answer for them. The reason why they brought in Nick Foles, that like shit on their face or whatever, that backfired, and they ended up trading him to the Bears. And then we saw Clemson, their streak of regular season wins, that got stopped against Notre Dame. I gotta search it up again. I hope I say this right again, because now I'm nervous. DJ Uiagalelei. I think that was right. This kid's gonna be good. Also, if you watched anything, first game he actually started over 425 passing yards, but you still lost. So it goes to show you that Trevor Lawrence is obviously the guy, and I think a lot of people in that first half were thinking, oh, is Trevor Lawrence a type of system quarterback that as soon as Lawrence leaves, this kid's going to come right in and they're going to be that number 1 Clemson Tiger team that Dabo has had this team for the last 5 years. Maybe not. But the Jets almost fucked it up. They almost lost. They almost won. They tried hard. And I know the players and coaches, you never want to lose. None of them are trying to lose. Management perspective, you're going lose. We got to lose. Keep Adam Gase until they go 0-16. I don't give a shit. That's the way you got to go. Only the Jets could have lost this game, by the way. Every other 0-8 team would have found a way to sneak in that 1 win. Little pat on the back. Great job. Moral victory. You beat the rival, you beat a Bill Belichick team. That's always good. I'll have Eric on later. We texted. He was, whenever he beat the Patriots, it's a good day. I was like, put the brakes on there, sweet thing. This was good. 0-9. And you got to buy. I got to buy this week. I don't got to worry about the Jets. I won't have to talk about the Jets next week because they'll be still 0-9. It's a beautiful thing, though. And if you plan on watching any football, as this car alarm goes off, I don't know if you can hear that, but if you can, it's cool. On CBS, and this is a little tidbit, not a little cute, fun story. So CBS won't be, if you're going to be watching football, obviously this week, which I'm sure you will. CBS obviously has the Masters on Sunday, so there'll be no 1:00 games on CBS. And it's a cool little article. No Jim Nantz, no Tony Romo. The best color commentator in the world right now, under contract, $18 million getting paid in contract. If I don't got Jim Nantz to my left, you don't got me. So Tony's going to be recording some more Corona Hotline commercials. Doing that, just hanging out, watching football. No, here we go, Jim, for a final drive call during the 4:00 slate. We'll miss him. So as I mentioned, our first minute against the spread for week 9, we went 6-8. Like I said, a few heartbreakers, a few very, very impressive upsets by teams that were underdogs, obviously. So let's get this bad boy out. Week 10, the fastest minute in sports. Min against spread. Colts Titans Thursday night. I like Tennessee -1.5. I like Tannehill, Derrick Henry, the whole shebang. Texans versus Browns. I like Browns -3. Baker Mayfield is good to go. He's going to be starting at quarterback. Washington +4 at Detroit. Detroit absolutely sucks. They stink. Jags versus Pack. Pack -13. I like that. Again, probably no Minshew. Giants at home against the Eagles. I'm taking them underdogs. +3.5. The Giants are rolling. If they get a win, they might get the division. Bucks -5.5 at Panthers. Another divisional game. I think Brady and that team bounces back. Broncos Raiders. Raiders -5. I like them. Raiders are playing good football. Chargers. I'm going to take them +2.5 for the points at Miami. I think Miami loses this game at home. Some magic runs out. Bills +2.5. I'm taking the Bills. They're riding high. I won't make the mistake like I did last week. Seahawks +1.5 at the Rams. I like Seattle in this. Close, tight knit. I think they win outright. Saints -9 against the Niners. Again, Niners have no one. I like the Saints. Bengals Steelers. I'll take the Steelers -7 against Cincinnati. Ravens -7 at the Patriots. And then Vikings +3 at the Bears. All right. It was a little long too. 1:04. I guess I'll break it down a little bit for just a few of these games. Which underdogs I kind of do like outright. I kind of like the Redskins to win outright. I think with Alex Smith, he's going to get the full start. I think he'll play better against a Lions team that's just not very good. Giants, I think the Giants could win outright, like I just said. I think they're playing, obviously they're playing for something. They got a big win against Washington. And +3.5. Again, even if they lose, by 3, by a field goal. I think this game is going to be very tight. The Giants should have beat the Eagles in Philadelphia a few weeks ago. They let that game they let it right through their hands. So I think at home, Giants are just playing good football. Like I said last week, they're playing good football. Raiders, though, I like them. Raiders, again, I think the Las Vegas Raiders are a team that finally starting to get some respect. They're a good team. And, they were able to cover. They got, the benefit of the doubt. They thought they lost final seconds. Overturned. They get the win. They won by 6. I don't know why, but I'm laying the points on the Chargers for some reason. I could see them totally winning this game outright against Miami. I see a Miami Dolphins dud game, possibly riding high off 2 really, really good games against NFC West opponents. I guess just going down the line, I think divisional Steelers, Bengals, I think 7's a perfect number for the Steelers. Vikings +3. I see the Vikings doing well. Dalvin Cook is the best running back in this league right now. He posted another 200-yard rushing game. And I could see that the Bears are just kind of crumbling apart. I said it when they started off hot. They were the worst, 5-1 team out there. They had no business really being in that position. It's Matt Nagy for the Bears. It's, this offense is not good. Put Trubisky, put Foles in. It doesn't matter. So that's my picks against the spread. Follow them. We'll see. Hopefully we get a positive. Hopefully we're over 500 with that. And we'll move right into Nick's best bets. All Thursday Night Football games. I finally got some good player props that I like. Last week's were all Sunday. We went 2-1. A nice plus 0.8 units. Overall, we're 13-8. We're plus 5.1 units. Hopefully we can start building up with more picks. 5 units plus is still 5 units plus. You're making money. So, first one, I'm going to go right back to the well with, he covered this last week, and I think he's going to get more targets. We saw him get more targets a few weeks ago when the Titans were on prime time. I like Jonnu Smith over 29.5 receiving yards. That plays at -112. Smith's a really good, he's one of Tannehill's favorite targets. Obviously, A.J. Brown is playing really well. He's been that number one, but Jonnu Smith, the middle of the field, I like him, and for, 30 yards, I think this is a good play. Now, Phil Rivers, over 1.5 touchdown passes. This is a -150. -150, if you don't feel like laying the juice on that, I get that, but I still think the Titans are going to be ahead, and I think Phil's going to have to start throwing the ball just like he did last week against the Ravens. Phil threw, he dropped back and he threw the ball 43 times. So I think 2 touchdowns for him is a very good play. And then my last one is another first half one, and I hope and praying I like this one a lot. Titans first half team total over 12.5. This plays -124. The Titans are a good football team. They're a very good football team, and I think that 2 touchdowns or, I'm thinking 2 touchdowns, even if a missed extra point does happen, it gets us there. I like this play a lot. Again, people have been playing, and they were saying with the Colts, I thought 2.5 was too small of a line. Go show you, I was right on that. But this line in itself is only 1.5 in favor of the Titans, and I do like the Titans in this game. We gotta see, Colts defense has been playing pretty well. Phil's has been up and down. Their plays overall has just been up and down as a team. I still think the Colts are a good team. I just think the Titans are better. All of these are available on DraftKings. Jonnu Smith over 29.5 receiving yards. Phil Rivers over 1.5 touchdown passes. And the Titans' first half team total over 12.5 points. Obviously, like I said, these are all Thursday night plays. If I like anything on the Sunday slate, those will be tweeted out. But these are my 3 plays. I like them a lot. But that's going to do it for episode 9 of The Take. We had our Against the Spread Minute, our best bets. Mets are rolling. Steve Cohen is here. He has arrived. Stroman is a New York Met. Tony LaRussa is a clown. Jets are still winless. We love it. Tank for Trevor. We'll see you next Wednesday. See ya.